Alright, so we're working on part 2 of this budget build for a long range gun. Last video I went over this Cabela's Covenant Tactical 4 scope that I got, and this is the Remington 700 and 300 Win Mag. And I went over everything on this on the last video, just a quick highlight. Seekins rail, this Covenant scope. This comes with this scope. It actually comes with a lot of accessories. Just a quick neoprene cover. But I went and got the scope mounted. It's with the Vortex Tactical 30mm medium ring, and they're about 20 bucks each. So, you know, yet again, kind of keeping with that budget idea. The local shop here in town is an Ace Hardware. I'm in a small town. That's kind of like the main gun store to go to without driving a little ways to get to like a Sportsman's. But I went down there and they're super swamped. It's the holidays right now. So I went in, they saw me standing there with a scope and a gun case, and they just were like, hey, if you want it mounted, we can mount it, just drop it off, come back. So dropped it off. They got these 30mm rings thrown on, got the scope mounted. Now, they were still super swamped when I went back in, so I didn't even stop to really talk to them. I don't know if they bore sighted it. I would assume that they didn't do anything really super fancy on this. They may have bore sighted it. Hopefully they leveled it. I don't know for sure, so we will see. We're going to take it out, and what we're going to do is shoot this Hornady match grade ammo that I bought for it before I got those hand loads done. We're going to shoot those first, try and get it dialed really close, see how it groups, then we'll grab the hand loads, shoot those, and then hopefully my next day's off I can get over to my buddy Brant's, try and reload a couple sets of 3 of a couple different things, different powders, different weight bullets, and see just what groups the best. And then we're going to start trying to reach out, touch some things, build a ballistic chart, get some chronograph done on this, see what we can do. I do want to change out this trigger eventually, whether I get around to it anytime soon or not. It is not a very, and this is unloaded, I already checked, but just for the YouTube video, it is not a very light trigger. I mean, it takes a pretty decent amount. I don't know what that is measurement wise, but I know I felt a couple people's triggers that are nicer triggers, and they definitely are about probably half of what this is pulling. I don't know exactly what it comes factory as, but it's not the lightest trigger. I don't know, we'll see if I even need that or get to that, but the big thing is we got it mounted, and we're going to start getting out, getting it shooting. Throw some stuff downrange. I am back on days on, headed back to work for the next 6 days, so I will probably not get to shoot it this week. It's generally getting dark by the time I get back home, so chances of me having time to run in, grab everything, run out and shoot are pretty slim. And even then, you know, run out and shoot a couple, but there's not a lot of time to really get behind the gun, spend some time with it. So hopefully next week I'll take some time into shooting this and start getting it dialed in. And like I said, then we'll start seeing what group's good out of this gun, what this gun likes, and then start reaching out a little further. I did realize one thing that is going to be a problem for this whole deal is my rangefinder. I've got a Vortex rangefinder. I've had it for, I don't even know, 6 years maybe. It's a Ranger 1000. It's worked pretty good for archery hunting, but this year I have noticed for some reason it keeps picking up things like you can range something, let it go back to sleep, don't move at all, wake it back up, rearrange something, and sometimes there's an 8-yard difference. It really likes the range 33 for some reason. You'll be at 40 yards or 30 yards and it'll read 33 yards a lot. It really likes that. I've tried a new battery, didn't help. Vortex said send it in, they'll warranty it. Problem is I've been hunting so much I didn't really want to be without it. Even though it's not 100% accurate, most of the time it's within 2 yards. So as far as close range, I've never reached out and ranged something super far, and obviously it's a Ranger 1000, so it's not built to go past that 1,000 mark, and it probably won't pick up at that 1,000 mark very good. So one problem I am facing with this is I definitely, if I want to continue doing this by myself, I'm definitely going to have to upgrade that rangefinder sooner or later. But I've got some people I know with rangefinders, so hopefully I can get a hold of them and we can go out and get some stuff ranged. I know of a target out. I could drive about 5 minutes to go shoot, and there's a little shooting range out there, and I know guys have a still target up on the hill that I believe is something about 1,300 yards. So at least if I can figure out how far that is, or find a spot to mark 1,000 yards from that, at least then I can go out and start shooting at that. But yeah, that is one problem, is that rangefinder. I'm definitely going to have to look into upgrading that if I want to continuously shoot far, but at the very least I do need to get that fixed so that I'm not I'm not ranging something at 600, making my click, my MOA adjustment, and then being off by a whole bunch and not knowing whether it's the rangefinder or whether my ballistic chart is wrong. So but yeah, we're gonna go shoot, figure out what group's good, chronograph that group. If it's something I need to hand load, I'll try and hand load a bunch of those, and then we'll get the ballistic chart built up and start playing around with clicks. This is completely new to me. I've never had a gun I've never had a scope that's meant to be clicked to shoot. Never had anything with markings and zeros. Everything's always had a cap. Get it zeroed, screw the cap back on, leave it alone. That's all I've ever shot. So this will be my first adventure with anything this fancy. So definitely excited to play with that. So anyways, this video is supposed to be super short. We're already at 7.5 minutes, so we're going to shut it off now. But just a quick update, and hopefully the next video is out shooting some rounds through this.